Hey, Eddie here with Guitar Mastery Method. We help thousands of guitar players just like you all around the world take your guitar playing to the next level. And today I'm going to be teaching you 3 scorching blues licks in the key of A minor. Gotta love those scorching blues licks. The very start of the video, I was playing all 3 of those licks in just kind of different order here and there over a backing track, which the link for that backing track will be in the description box below. And let's get right into it with lick number 1. So all of these licks are in the key of A minor, and they all borrow the blues scale, which if you're familiar with your normal A minor pentatonic, we know that the blues scale adds that one extra note, that flat 5 note that gives it that extra bluesy sound. So all 3 of these licks use that flat 5 note. We use it all across the fretboard, which is cool. So all 3 of these licks kind of start in different pentatonic boxes, and you can pretty much cover more than half the fretboard with these 3 licks in a row. And I'll go ahead and demonstrate this to show you. So pretty cool, you know, covering a lot of ground with just 3 licks. So let's start with lick number 1. The first lick starts on the 8th fret here on the B string. And what I'm doing is I'm doing a hammer-on from the 8th fret to the 10th fret, but I'm also, while I'm doing that, I'm playing the bottom open E string. It gives it that, it's a little bit of a challenge because what you have to do is you have to really angle your hand so that the flesh of your fingers isn't interfering with that open E string. So if that ends up giving you trouble, what I would recommend is just kind of like hang your hand under the fretboard, almost like you can imagine it like it's a monkey on a tree, just kind of hanging there, right? And sort of let gravity take over. Just kind of let your arm sort of hang there, and then it'll almost naturally kind of find a comfortable place while you're still fretting the strings, by the way. And then try and give it a nice downstroke on both those strings. And be sure to really use the very tips of your fingers to hit these notes. All right, so we go. And then right now we're going to do a quick slide down from the 9th fret on the G string down to the 7th fret. A very common blues move. A little downward slide. And then, once we're here, we're going to play the 5th fret of the G string. And we're going to land on the tonic note, A being the tonic note of A minor, right? Basically, that's the note you want to land on. Right? And then, we're going to play 5th fret of the D string. All right, but then we're going to catch that 7th fret of the G string. And then we're going to hammer on with our pinkies. We're going to hammer on to the 8th fret, same string. That's that blue note right there. And then we're going to play the 5th fret on the B string. And then starting from the blue note, right, 8th fret here on the G string, we're going to do a pull off from 8, 7, 5. And then land right there on A where we're supposed to land. So in context, it all goes like this. One more time, slow. So this first lick can be used pretty much over any chord in a 1-4-5, blues chord progression in the key of A minor. So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate. I'm just going to let the track play a little bit and just play this lick multiple times. And I'll play it with different timings, different speeds, just to kind of show the diversity of this one lick. So that first lick is pretty neutral, and I mean, you can use it over pretty much any of the 3 chords in a 1-4-5 blues chord progression. And the cool thing about it is it leaves a lot of room to kind of experiment. You can sit there and like land on different notes to try and highlight the different chords coming up, or you can play it at different speeds. You know, you can really milk that lick, even though you can play it multiple times and it won't necessarily get boring if you change up your timing and stuff like that. Lick number 2 goes like this. One more time, slow. Now that right there is in another pentatonic box, another position, what's considered the BB box. BB King uses that pentatonic box a lot, you know, for those. It's just so sweet. So many sweet notes in there. So with this one, I really wanted to highlight those sweet notes along with the blue note, which is right here. When we're going, you know. This has a lot of attitude, a lot of stank to them. So I love playing in that box personally. So I'm going to go ahead and break down this riff. So we're doing what's called a unison bend. That's the first thing that we're doing in this lick. And that's basically when you have 2 notes and one of the notes you're bending to match the pitch of the other note. So in this case, we have this note right here, which is a D. It's on the 10th fret of the high E string. And then right here, we have the 13th fret of the B string. And we want to bend it all the way up from the 13th fret to the 15th fret. So it matches in pitch. But that slow grind to make it to that unison pitch just sounds, it's got so much attitude. I love it. You know, that's kind of where the mojo lies in this lick. Especially when you really slow it down. This is definitely a bend you want to take your time with. You don't want to rush it, you know? All right, so once we do that unison bend, we're going to start with, on the 10th fret of the high E string, we're going to play 10, 11, 12. So 11 fret being that blue note there. And then we're going to do a hammer-on and pull-off from the 10th fret and the 11th fret. Kind of a very Stevie Ray Vaughan lick. All right? And then we're going to land on the 13th fret of the B string. And then we're gonna land on the 13th fret, and then we're gonna play the 10th fret, and then we're gonna play the 12th fret on the G string, and then once again 13th fret on the B string, and then we're gonna resolve on the 10th fret on the B string. This is another one of those licks that you can just really explore the timing of it, the speed of it, whatever. And there's all kinds of different places you can put it. So I'm going to go ahead and play it over the track and just throw it in random places, and you'll kind of see what I'm talking about. So again, that kind of lick, you know, for the most part, you can use it pretty much anywhere in that chord progression. I personally really like to use it when you go to the 4 chord. So in an A minor progression, when it goes to the D minor chord, that's when this lick can shine particularly, and that's when I really like to bust it out. All right, so lick number 3. This is going to be the longest one, at least as far as the tab is concerned, which, by the way, the tab for all of these licks is in the description box below. Be sure to click that link and get the reference material and everything you need to go through this lesson along with me. And lick number 3 goes like this. That's a fun one, because that one uses yet another pentatonic box. All right? and it throws that blue note in there, which is the 16th fret of the B string, right? Which we used pretty much the same note in the same octave, but on the previous lick, but on the 11th fret of the high E string. And then same thing in the first lick. So all three of these licks really highlight that blue note. So again, lick number 3, I'm going to play it slow. It goes like this. This lick really invites you to dig in because you have that initial, that bend, another slow bend, and you're going to catch that high note up there, which is the 15th fret of the E string, the high E string. And then a bend release, right? Landing on the 13th fret of the B string, and then that high A, which is the 17th fret of the E string. So, and then right away going into the blue note. So 16th fret of the B string, 15th fret, 13th fret. So that succession of notes sounds particularly cool to me, you know? And then we're gonna resolve right there, 14th fret on the G string. So that little hammer-on pull-off. I like to do that. You can just really hit that last note, which is the 13th fret of the B string. Just give it a little slide down. So one last time. Here's lick number 3. So I'm going to go ahead and play that in context with the track and show you the different ways you can use that lick as well. So as I said about each individual lick, you know, all of these licks can be used in a bunch of different ways. You can change up the timing, like what beat on the track you play them on top of. There's a lot of room to really have fun with them. So don't play them exactly how I do it unless you want to as just kind of a jumping off point, and then just really take off and come up with your own ideas and play them in your own way. Because at the end of the day, that's the goal, right? We really want you to take all this material and really make it your own. So with all of these licks, you know, there's just a lot of room to play with, and they're pretty fun licks. They're not super complicated, but they highlight some really colorful notes and they sound really cool, at least if I can say so myself, you know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and play all 3 licks in context with the track, and I'll let the track play a little bit so you'll even hear that 5 chord come in and kind of hear how the licks can be used there. So here we go. Well, that just about wraps it for this lesson. I really hope you guys enjoyed those licks, and I really hope you enjoyed this lesson as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. Don't forget to download the reference material. The link is in the description box below. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click the notification icon so you can stay up to date with all of our lessons coming out from all of our awesome instructors. I've also included in the description box a free download to a blues solo heat map that'll show you basically how to create other scorching licks of your own all over the guitar's fretboard. It's really awesome stuff. You've got to check it out. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, and I look forward to seeing you on the next lesson.